And those dollar bills had my picture on them, and she threw them away. I can't believe she did that. Now, with me is Marcelle Speller, the Philanthropist of the Year, as voted by Spears Wealth Management here in London. She's also the founder and chief executive of the charity website, Localgiving.org. Marcelle, welcome to you.
Thank you.
A fantastic example, isn't it? This guy who just says, you know what, I don't need a cent of it. The whole lot is going to charity. Extraordinary.
I think it's wonderful. It's extraordinary and it's wonderful. And what's really good about it is the fact that he's doing it for something that he cares about. Obviously, apparently his wife passed away from cancer, and he's saying, OK, let's do... I mean, philanthropy is the love of mankind. And he's saying, I'm going to use this money to help mankind to cure cancer, which might have saved his wife. I think it's very touching and beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, the acts of philanthropy that are well known, the kind of the Warren Buffetts give 10% or whatever it happens to be. I mean, you always think, well, yeah, of course they can. They've got loads. They've got so much money beyond the dreams of Croesus. They can do that.
Yes, but in fact, I think it's actually more important that lots of people give small amounts. Because that's what really can make a difference, both for the people giving and the people receiving. I mean, what we have on Local Giving right now is a campaign called Grow Your Tenner. We've had a £500,000 match from the government, and if you put £10 onto any charity on Local Giving, we'll match it with another £10. And that means that the charity will actually get £22. And in fact, the average amount that people are giving is £15. Now, that's leverage. And if loads of people give small amounts, that's just as good as philanthropy as somebody who happens to have an awful lot more that gives a lot more.
There's another argument, and which is about, you know, kind of like when people talk about the aid budget, what it should be. America never meets the target of what's set out because there's so much more philanthropy in the US, and therefore you have a different ways of giving. Where do you stand on the argument between, well, you know, should people have to have a begging bowl to raise money for cancer? Isn't that something that government should do?
I think there's a need for both. I mean, there are certain big projects that only government can do, but I think the thing that I personally believe in, which is why I set up Local Giving, is that local people know what their solutions are. They know what they need. And as long as they give them the tools to do that, that I think is a more important thing to do. And then if you just let the government do it, then you don't get the joy of giving. You don't get the joy of seeing the effect of what you've done. I mean, I don't know how thrilled you get about paying your taxes.
or how? I mean, yeah, I'm certainly not going to answer that. But I mean, what you certainly sometimes feel is, you know, who spends the money best? I mean, I heard Bill Gates talking about what he was doing, funnily enough, about polio, which is something we were talking on this programme a little earlier.
Yeah,
and, you know, amazing detailed work where the money, the leverage of the Gates Foundation is being used very, you know, with forensic sharpness. Whereas sometimes with, you know, when it's big government spending projects, you sometimes wonder how well it is being spent. I
think this is one of the questions with philanthropy, that it isn't... I think it's the other thing that Warren Buffett said, it's more difficult to give it away intelligently than to make it. And there are dangers with philanthropy. There is philanthropy that can actually do harm. And I've seen a few examples of things where I think, whoa, was that quite the right thing to do? That you go into an area and you say, OK, I'm a great philanthropist, I know how to deal with this, and actually you can do more harm than good.
I think one of the most important points you made is the idea that you can decouple philanthropy from extreme wealth. You can have lots of small amounts of giving.
Absolutely. And philanthropy means love of mankind. That doesn't have to mean billions. Anybody can be a philanthropist and actually do, as I said, you know, £10 to a local charity will make a huge difference to them. And if a lot of people do that, then the whole thing grows. Marcelle,
so good to have you with us in the studio. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. Would you have given everything away?
I've given an awful lot away already.
Oh, well, good for you. Anyway, thank you very much indeed for being with us. Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Do stay with us.